Hey everybody, it's Jason Blaha here, and once again it is time for a shoulder day, so let's get right to it. And yeah, today I decided let's go ahead and do standing press instead of seated to start off. Now that I'm using that wider grip, it hits a lot of stuff a little different. I'm like, let's just work on standing and see how it feels. And so yeah, that's what I decided to do. And even though I feel like that seated press does carry over well to my incline's going really well. And so at this point, I'm like, let's just kind of get a little bit of the potential overall strength benefit through the body. Let's go ahead and do the standing press and maybe get good at it again, right? Let's try to get good at it again. Now, one thing I do want to note, obviously, that is my full range of motion. I've kind of showed that before at the top, but I don't really care because really for me, this is about building all that muscle out of the bottom, the upper chest, the delts, everything else. So not a big deal. I'm just going to do what I can. But notice that I come all the way down and I'm touching the chest on every rep. Because I'm able to lay back just a little bit, I am touching my clavicle and we pause on every single rep. We pause, we're strict, no cheating, no leg drive. And ideally, I'd like to get this back up to 225 again. And considering I'm down at like 205, I was 204 yesterday. It kind of drifted back up to 205 today. But I'm going to get down under 200. So, if I close it in on 50, I feel like if I'm under 200 pounds, I can press 2 plates again. Strict like that, that would be a worthy goal. And I feel like that would carry over to my incline. It would carry over to all my upper chest. Because one thing I want to note when I do this wider grip, because notice my pinkies are on the rings, I'm outside of shoulder width, I do get a similar stretch in the upper chest, right? The very upper portions of it, similar to the way an incline feels. So again, I feel like there's going to be a lot of synergy there because for me at this point in the game, I feel like just that upper chest area and my biceps really need the most work. All right, especially as I continue to get leaner. But some of these shots, and if you guys saw the screenshot from earlier from one of those angles, once I had a good pump, I feel like the delts are actually starting to get pretty decent. And as I get leaner, right, you guys see where I'm going with that. They're going to be in a good place. But I do feel like on my benching and stuff, my delts do feel like a weak link. But again, that could all be tied to upper chest. So we're just going to run with it. So on those, I did sets of 5. And then I pushed out and took a couple seconds between each rep on the third set. And managed to actually squeeze out 7, which means I'm probably holding back a little bit. All right, we're probably holding back a little bit. All right, the upright rows, I do the really wide grip because this is what hits my side delts. And I only take them up as high as is comfortable. But again, focused on getting that stretch at the bottom, getting that pause. And I did like 8 and 8, and then at the final set, I rest paused it. All right, because I'm hitting failure on these. So I'm getting over there, if you guys notice, definitely on this second set. When we get to the end, I kind of pause at the bottom and try to do another rep, and I can't. So I'm trying to reach actual momentary muscle failure on a lot of these. So I did that on everything but the press, because the first 2 sets, they were heavy, but I didn't try to attempt, really try to hit another rep. So then when I did that third set, I realized I may have been holding back a hair. And for this style of training, we got to be careful of that because we don't do a lot of volume. We want most sets to be to failure or close to failure with a little bit of intensity techniques. Again, even though this is a 5-day power building split, a lot of it's, kind of Dorian Yates type inspired training to some extent with this power building. Because we do one heavy single of squat, bench, and deadlift every week, and then we come in, still do heavy compounds, most of them very close to failure or to failure. And then, of course, I do isolation work, and isolation work tends to be to failure. I like to do more rest pause on those because they're not going to beat you up, but we're still getting in and really getting those deep fibers. But right here, struggling to get that extra rep even with the rest pause. And the waistline, again, needs to tighten up a little bit more, obviously, as I lose fat. But I already know from, again, like I said, shots before when I do water cuts for meets, that actually tightens up. So it tells me the potential is there. And people have noted it actually is seeming to get tighter. So I'm just going to keep working at it. But again, I have to get leaner, So again, that's going to be the name of the game. I feel like at this point in the game, though, if I get that body fat off that midsection that's in that loose skin, get the biceps a little bigger, maybe get some better just density in that upper chest. Really focus on that so I get that separation. Because I do if you guys notice there, I do have that genetic little part of that separation in that upper chest. And I'd really like to maximize on that. I feel like from a aesthetics and bodybuilding perspective, if I can really thicken that upper chest up, that will become very pronounced as I get leaner. So that'll be a good thing. But again, biceps, I'm going to double down on bicep training just like the upper chest. So I feel like I do need to push biceps even harder than I'm doing. So they may get more volume than any other muscle kind of just moving forward. So I'm thinking I'm going to try to do about 9 sets to absolute failure every week for biceps. So I'll do those tomorrow on the back and bicep day. Whereas in back can take a little bit of a back seat. I can just do pull-ups and deadlifts and call it a week. All right, same thing with these rear delt flies. As again, great for rear delts, great for side delts. And again, we can never have too much rear delt for aesthetic purposes, right? That's just not going to happen. It's almost impossible for your rear delts to be overdeveloped and hurt aesthetics. If anything, they will almost always help it. So, and it'll help stabilize your chest for benching, right? Reduce injuries. So on those sets were to failure, and then I did a rest pause on the last one. And then we finish up with neck work. I feel like I do need the neck training. Plus, keep in mind, the data shows phenomenal upper trap activation. So it's like I'm already getting all this trap work. But if you guys see there, right, the biceps really need the most work. And they're coming along. A lot of people noticed, again, they've gotten bigger. But they do need to continue to improve. I feel like just to complete my physique, at a lower body fat than I am now, I really need to get another inch on those biceps. And I know that's a tall order, that's going to be a lot of work, but because I neglected them for so many years, I do feel like there's catch up to be done, right? I'm going to continue to hammer them. Triceps, of course, have to be hit too, but I hit those really hard on the chest and tricep day. And I've had strong triceps. You guys have seen me close grip bench press 365 with a pause in the past, like straight up close grip. So again, mainly we just need to make sure that extra long head work gets done and everything with the extensions, which again, the same thing. That's why I do rest pause work on those. All right, and so then the neck work here, again, I feel like I need this. It's been helping tremendously with my headaches, my crick in my neck. That is all improving. But it's a good thing all around. Prevents injuries, prevents whiplash. I mean, training your neck matters. Like, I got in a car wreck a few years back and didn't even miss any training. And I was in an Uber that got rear-ended, and I didn't even hurt the next day. And I was doing neck training and stuff at the time. Do you guys see where we're going? We were at a dead stop and got hit on the freeway, an Uber. And I mean, it messed his car up pretty bad. Yet, I got no whiplash, no injuries. So, again, I like these movements. I'm going to continue to do them if for no other purpose than just general health and protection, even if it doesn't improve my physique. All right, guys, but that's really all I have to say on that today. I hope it's been informative, and I'll talk to you guys and gals next time.